How do I start this episode?
It was so fun.
Alright, so the 70 here, I tried to start one day, and it just started grinding and wouldn't shift into gear. So Sticks over here, would you say a shift fork maybe messed up?
Yeah, shift
Broken?
tent is what it's called. And they said there's this little shaft and it breaks, and it won't let you shift into gear. I'm hoping that's what it is. We're about to take this cover off and find out.
So I'm going to start MIGging this morning, which I got it all set up. I got this set up to our gas. Oh yeah, we got a little splitter the other day. And you can have 2 regulators on 1 tank. So we're going to see how that works. I'm going to try to weld the inside of this a little bit. And what else? Inside, whoa, that corner right there, that TIG cup is just too big and I can't get down in there. So I'm going to just try to blast it with that MIG. So I just welded inside of there. I hit the inside just to try to beef it up a little bit. I glued new rubber pieces to these, which hit the body, and I wrapped them around the top. And I did that because when this slides in, it used to just push them right off because it wasn't wrapped around like that. It's kind of tedious. I had to cut them all out, glue them. Also did the top. I kind of butchered it up. You can see my little splice right there. But it's ready to go on. Tire clears the ladder just fine. I did have to scoot it over just a little bit because this was hitting the edge of the rim. But now it's good to go. I mean, there's plenty of room, and I'm kind of trying to design a little clamp that clamps onto here. Oh yeah, I ground all this stuff off too. So there's no bracket on this, and the hatch still opens up good, even though there's a little bit of extra weight with the ladder on there. I am gonna have the panel inside of here with the zippers, so that's gonna add a little bit more weight. So I may still have to get struts that are a little tiny bit stronger than these, but it's not gonna be nowhere near the ones I had. So the ones that I did have were 250 pound. I mean, look at the size difference. They're way too strong. So I may have to get stiffer ones, but I mean, that's perfectly fine. Gussets welded up on my ladder. I don't know if it's good, probably not, but I keep blowing the breaker for the garage, which the garage is on. All of the plugs are on a 20 amp breaker. So this plug goes to that plug, goes to that 4-way plug, and there's another plug behind my toolbox over there. Probably blew it like 5 times right there, but it's because I got this TIG welder pegged. We need to really get 220 out here in the garage. These welders, they're the same kind of welders, but they have these little adapters. And this is like 240 to, what is that, 120 I guess it is? Whatever it is, 220, 120. It steps it down for the regular outlets, and we need to get these things hooked up. One of my dad's buddies is an electrician, and dude, we got to get on it. Just welded on that gusset, and there's another one down here that I just got welded up. So I'm getting pretty decent at TIG welding. I've just pretty much done it myself, and the job that I used to work at, I used to TIG weld a lot, but I had a TIG welder before I even started working there, so I've been doing it for quite a few years now, but just in the garage, not professionally. I do still need to make this little brace. I probably don't need it because I really like the way this looks, and I'm sure that helps a ton, but I'm still gonna add one more just because I have it. It's gonna be something like that. The only downfall is, which probably isn't even a downfall, these studs, when I made this little flange, these pressed in, they're like stock to a Vanagon hub. So that one's not going to be able to come out because it's going to be under that. And to press that out, you know, you're not going to be able to get past this piece of steel. But honestly, I've never taken these out, and I never plan to take these out. The spare tire that I have right now on my van is pretty much always going to be my spare tire. Actually, I rotate the 5 tires, and with the mix, like every time I rotate, I use the spare, put another one on the, and I wear them all out at the same time. But regardless, I'm going to keep these size wheels on my van. So these are newer Volkswagen wheels. I haven't really talked about these. These are newer Volkswagen wheels off of an '08 R32, and they are 7.5 inches wide. They got the 5x112 bolt pattern, and they're 18-inch wheels. So they're literally what every single new Volkswagen has on their car. The only thing I did was bore the backside of the center bore out. Actually, I'll show you. So the backside of the center bore I bored out, and you can tell it's like really shiny. And the front part is painted silver, which is why it's not shiny. There's a little step right in the center of both of these, and that is where the center cap clips onto. So I left the front, and I bored the back out on all 5 of these wheels, and I bored the backside out because the front grease cap, it hit just barely, and I made custom grease caps as well, so this center cap would fit in these wheels, and I absolutely love them. They are like my favorite wheels. They look super good on the van, and I don't know, dude, I had to have them. And there was only 5,000 of these R32s in the States, so these wheels are kind of rare. I just like how the center cap covers the lug nuts, and dude, it makes it really clean. I got 4-piston Brembo calipers on the front of these, and there were also newer rotors off of a newer Volkswagen. This back is from a 2010 GTI, and it uses, you know, the caliper and the rotor, and the caliper is an e-brake as well. It has like a mechanical lever on it, so I was able to use that with the stock Vanagon e-brake cables. So that was fun to make. But anyways, I'm gonna get on this little bracket right here and weld this thing on. I need to bolt it up to the rim just to make sure everything clears, and cut these angles right so they actually like make it and line up. So ever since I welded the gussets in here, it kind of seems like this gap in here is a little bit tighter. So it's hanging up, and this feeler gauge is a 0.5 millimeter. I'm gonna take this off, and I'm gonna put this in the press, and I'm gonna try to bend it just a little bit. Well, not try, I'm going to bend it just a little tiny bit. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put it in here, and it's gonna bend between these two, and this little piece of basically press brake tooling that I made is gonna bend it ever so slightly. I would like maybe about 2 millimeter in there, but man, it is very, very close now, it seems like. Here's my setup. I just got this in there. So this is the setup that was my last resort, and honestly it worked pretty good. I used this as a base because this was too small and it started to dent the tubing that I had in there, so I had a wider surface area here. I got this back on, and you could probably see in there that it's a bigger gap, and the feeler gauge that was originally in there, I mean, it's loose all the way down, so it definitely bent, and I feel a lot better about that little gap that I got. Just a small little bit of more clearance in there. So now that my brother's back, I can have him hold my little bracket. So that's what we got. Looking pretty good. We just tacked this and this. I didn't even mess with the center yet because I want to take this tire off and this whole stand up and weld it here off of the van. It'll just be way easier. It clears awesome. It doesn't even get close. So I know it's probably hard to see, but oh yeah, clears just fine. And my gap in there, I'm so hyped about that gap. It literally came out, it came out perfect. If you don't get off of my... Got majority of it welded up. I could only get 2 sides on this one because it's just, I can't fit the TIG torch down in there. I tried sticking the tungsten out, but I kept dabbing it in the weld. It's just too far down in there. So I'm gonna have to MIG that best I can. The welds on the upright and where I merged the two, dude, they're looking freaking great. I'm honestly, I'm getting pretty good at TIG welding the more and more I do it. So the only thing I got left on this is to fill this in, which I'll do that tomorrow. I don't want to grind right now. It's kind of late. So do that. MIG this, which I'll also do tomorrow, and I think this thing's pretty much done as far as welding the upright and holding the tire up. It's gonna be stout. It's gonna be super strong. I gotta get on the road, dude. I gotta go. I gotta within the next couple weeks. Gotta bust a move. It's gonna be getting cold up here. Shtick did mess with the 70, which is just sitting out back. outside. I'll bring it in though. I gotta bring all these bikes in. I'm gonna shut the shop down and I'll see you guys bright and early tomorrow morning.